Dan, I'm looking around my desktop. I swore I brought my Dr. Pepper down here for this episode of today's Hounds podcast, and I evidently left it upstairs. I can't find it. It's missing.
It's missing, huh? Huh.
Something.
Well,
Yeah, it's got, I'm that kind of person. I don't know how you are. Like, I'll go into the house to get something, and when I get inside the house, I can't remember what I was coming in the house to get, you know? I
well,
do that a lot. And then I'll have to go all the way back to where I was standing to try to see if I can remember what it was I was having to get.
if something triggers you to, oh yeah, that's what
Uh-huh.
it was.
Yeah. I do that a lot. I poke fun at myself in my videos because I'm always forgetting my keys or my invoices, my sunglasses, but it's true.
Well, I noticed something that was missing
What's
earlier
that?
this week,
Yeah.
earlier last week.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was Wednesday morning. I noticed something missing from the world of YouTube.
There was. I know what you were talking about. It was definitely missing.
Yeah, the Ohio Woodburner channel had no video come on Wednesday morning.
Yes. Thank you for following Ohio Woodburner. We put out a video every Wednesday and Sunday, except last Wednesday. But I have a very good excuse though.
Oh, well, I can't wait to hear it. What
Yeah.
is it?
I forgot to post. I forgot to post my video.
As
I
in,
did.
you forgot what day it was, or you just forgot? You knew what day it was. You just forgot to do it,
I
or a
just forgot.
combination.
My usual practice is I will have the video ready the night before. I'll work on my thumbnail. I'll try to gussy it up. And I then do the scheduler option. So I'll turn my scheduler on, and I usually put them up at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. And that way, if I do happen to sleep in, which is rare, nothing will get missed.
Yeah.
But in this case, I forgot to click the little box for the scheduler. And I just, went about my morning. And it wasn't until like, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock, I thought, wait a second, is today Wednesday? Yeah.
Yep.
And then I just thought, you know what? The heck with it. I'll just put it up. I just won't put one up today.
Yeah. I have only one time had an oopsie
Yeah.
on publishing, and that was I published way too. Instead of scheduling it, I hit publish at like 2 a.m. or midnight or something. I don't know, but so I was thinking. I was thinking that's probably a high probability that you just forgot, or you maybe set the wrong time to publish.
Yeah. Well, that happened to me one time before, but that I caught. But in this case here, I just forgot to put it up. And thank you, because you and like 3 other people in this world noticed.
Well, maybe the others were just waiting to see, if it wasn't 7:30, maybe at 8 o'clock, because sometimes uh, the time can change. Like if you're publishing that morning. But yeah, the
Yeah.
morning came and went, and no Ohio
Well, and
Woodburner.
how odd that was for me too. I put a video up on Facebook that morning. So I was sitting here, at my desk with my laptop, and I was just doing all this. And I put it on Facebook all at the same time that YouTube was not active. Yeah. I don't know, but isn't like YouTube's kind of in the dumps lately, don't you think?
Slightly, yeah. It's kind of different compared
It's
to
like this.
years in the past.
It's like the summer doldrums, and it's not summer yet. I don't know.
It's
The
almost, well,
views are
yeah. It's
views are
June.
down. Views are
Yep,
down.
views are down. Um, a lot of other things are down.
My firewood sales are not down. They are the opposite. They
Oh,
are not down. My firewood sales are through the roof, man.
same here. I
Yeah.
am. I'm shipping and restocking the stand every week. It's crazy.
I had put that on my video for the one that followed the one that I missed. It was filmed on the very last day of May, and when I made those two deliveries on that day, May, which is a springtime month here in Ohio, it is my highest sales month in my company's history.
Wow.
May in the spring, and I mean, I'm here in Ohio with fall sales, the fall and winter rush, and I think that's got a lot to do with the wood yard because I have supply, I
Yeah.
have inventory. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, been May was a good month up here in the north as well. But I have more. I think people heading out for. I know Memorial Day weekend was big, and then about halfway through the month was big. People loading up.
yeah, yeah. So something odd happened to me this month on a delivery, and this has happened in the past, but it hasn't happened in a while. I made a delivery, and I told you before about how I accept cash from customers. Um,
Yes.
this was a lesson learned. I used to deal with this guy. I would buy firewood off of him, and I would pay him cash. And it took me a while to figure out why I was always annoyed when I was buying off of him. And I finally realized it was because when I would hand him my cash, he would he would like hold court. He would methodically and dramatically count the money right in front of me. Like, he would hold both arms out and with the money right in my face, and he would count it, like transferring it from one hand to the other, going 20, 40, 60, like that.
Yep.
And I don't know, man, it really just started to rub me the wrong way. And
Ooh.
yeah, and it got to the point where I didn't want to deal with him anymore, but I mean, it was still made, financial sense. So what I did was when I would give him the money, instead of just giving it to him, I would count it
There you
to
go.
him. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It sensitized me to how I receive cash from the customers. And I have come away with it that counting the money in front of the customer is kind of rude. So I don't do it. And when a customer hands me money, I will hold the stack of cash and I will say, "Do you need change?" And then if they say no, I put it right into my pocket.
There you
So
go.
then, and I am serious about this. This is how strong I feel about this because I was so annoyed by this other guy. If the money is wrong, if the money is short and it's not the correct amount, I'll just eat it. I don't care. But if it's over, I don't know. Am I to assume that it is a tip or
Yes.
did the customer give me too much? Well, in this case, maybe like a 10 or a 20, it would be a tip. But this was much higher. So I called the person and I says, just, I didn't count the cash until later, but you gave me too much. And they said, "Oh no, that's a tip. Please keep it." And I was like, "Wow, you're very generous.
Nice.
Can't,
Yeah.
can't wait to deliver to you again."
When do you need more wood?
Yeah. But, yeah, so it was a tip. And I don't know. I have received tips before, but people usually say that, "Hey, there's a little bit more in here for you." But never one of this size. But it just got me thinking too about tipping because it seems like in the last couple years, like tipping culture here in the United States, I guess, has kind of changed. Have you noticed it?
Probably not really. No, but I'm not really in those situations where, I'm either tipping or getting tips. So I'm not sure
Yeah. No,
if I
I
would
mean,
notice it.
well, yeah, a lot of these. Okay, here I am, I'm a world traveler, right? I'm so experienced. I've been out of the country one time. That was a couple of years ago. I went to Finland, and it's just in our DNA, in the United States, that you leave a tip when you're at a restaurant. Well, in Europe, I guess they don't. It's just people
No.
just don't tip. I guess in Europe they have these things called hourly wages that that the owner, pays, and that the patron doesn't have to subsidize this salary, I guess. All right, but here I am. I am at McDonald's, Burger King, Starbucks, where fast food, and the employees are not on, that tip wage, but now they're asking for tips.
Wait, where is this? In Finland or here?
No, that would be here. And as I'm saying, in Finland and
Oh,
Europe, there is no tipping.
yeah.
And that's what I have noticed about tipping culture here in the United States. And I don't know if it was because of the pandemic or whatever it is, but everyone's asking for more tips. When I'm at a drive through now, um, they'll hand the credit card swiper to me in the car, and then it prompts you to leave a tip if you want to.
Oh, yeah,
And,
no.
you kind of feel guilted in it. And I don't, I'm very, I have a complicated view on this entire thing with tipping. And I think it's largely because I am very sympathetic to retail employees. That type of employee, the ones that work at the stores, in the malls or in the Walmart, in the Dollar Generals, all your fast food restaurants and restaurants, servers and
Yep,
hostess and,
yep,
and all.
yep.
I am very sympathetic. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people, that start complaining about all this excessive tipping requests going on, that unfortunately the wrong people are feeling the brunt of it.
Yeah.
The high school kid working on the weekends, or the whoever, working for minimum wage at a fast food restaurant, I don't think they need to hear my angst. And I don't know if I would call it angst. I have an opinion. I'm not real strong on this, but it's kind of annoying. Like waitresses, it's usual practice in the United States. Servers that wait tables don't make they get paid under minimum wage.
Correct. Yep. Yes.
And then they are to live, and they'll tell you that they live off their tips. But fast food restaurants, Starbucks, McDonald's, and all, their employees are, they get an hourly wage that's at or above, the minimum wage limits. And but now they're asking for tips. It's just, I don't know. How do you feel about this?
Well, I guess anyone can ask for a tip in any circumstance doing anything. But I think, generally there's certain, I guess, jobs that it's kind of implied that kind of come with that whole tipping, or like I tip. So for instance, like just recently we had our pool filled, and the guy came on a Sunday, delivered the water, after his day, he had worked that day. So like something like that, I gave him a little extra just for going out of his way on a Sunday afternoon to come down and fill my pool. Something like that, I don't mind tipping. But I'm not going to go to McDonald's, have someone hand me a 2 cheeseburger value meal and expect to give them a tip. I mean, I don't know. I think that's, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I am, and I think that's why I'm twisted up on this. Um, I just know from, when I was in auto parts, and I was just talking with a guy I used to work with who still works there, and the company is still, all they do is complain. They can't find anyone to work, and then to me, I think it's an easy problem to solve. I mean, my gosh, they're still bringing in part timers at like $8.50 an hour. And
Yeah.
I mean, here is your clue. Okay, if you can't find anyone to work at $8.50 an hour, raise your raise your hourly wage and watch what happens. It's a novel idea, um,
Yeah.
called in the free market here. If you can't find someone to work for you, that's a clue.
Yep.
you know, Come on, man. And I also have it all. I see a difference too between like a small business, and I know a lot of these companies consider themselves small business, but they're like multi-billion-dollar operations.
Yeah.
But like a person that has like a small diner or a donut shop on the street corner or a firewood delivery service in Northeast Ohio, you know, you live on you live on small margins, I guess. And if you can't find someone to work, if I can't find someone and I'm asking them to work for minimum wage, okay, that's a clue. It just seems like now that these big, uh, these franchisees, there's the the big companies, these national retailers that they're now asking for tips, they're pushing it all on top of the consumer
Right.
when it shouldn't be. We shouldn't be put into a situation where we feel guilty, you know.
Yeah. I don't
And,
like that either.
and well, and I do because I'm sympathetic to the people that work at the cash registers, that work in the stores, because I know it's probably one of the tougher jobs that are out there.
Yeah.
It's a demanding job, and now you get a lot of people that like to express their angry opinions towards people, and they're a captive audience. They're vulnerable in their store like that, and they got to stand there and take it like that. And now this tipping thing is going on, and it shouldn't be the consumer's problem. It shouldn't be the employee's problem, you know.
No.
But
So
I
so
don't know.
is so when they hand you that card reader at the drive-through, does it have the like tip already kind of calculated out and figured out, and so you just have, is it like something like that, or do they just have like a tip jar in the window or something?
Well, I'm at Starbucks, and let's just say it cost a $5 coffee, whatever. And they hand you the swiper, and at the bottom of it, they'll have, do you want a tip? And it'll have like 10%, 20%, 30%, a
Yeah.
30% tip.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Or there'll be other, you know, where if you just want to leave a quarter, you have to hit other and type in 25 and hope you didn't type in $25 instead of 25 cents. Or I guess there's a button on there where you can type no. But it seems like I'm always, tipping, tip the barista. So I don't know.
Ooh.
It's just, and then I heard all of this on the news. There was like this big news story about people are starting to get fed up with the retailers and these restaurants forcing tipping for a service that traditionally wasn't a tippable service.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't I don't like the sound of that either. I mean, I guess if they want to add it on to their option when paying with a card to have it available, but I don't know if it would be something that's they should like be expecting. Like to your
Yeah.
point, like putting it on the consumer, putting the consumer in that position to, you know,
Yeah.
come across as the cheap SOB.
Well, I even applied that, for instance, to me. I do not expect a tip, and probably I would just prefer that they not. I was raised when, like this, I used to go to this lady that she was a friend of the family. She had her own hair salon. So I would go there to get my hair cut. And I remember vividly uh, tipping her. And she said, no, 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 no. You do not tip the hairstylist, the barber, if he or she owns the shop.
Mm,
And so that is just what I had always operated on. And so me being myself, I don't I'm not looking for it. And if it happens, you know it usually happens after I've already left the place before I count my money. But if I had employees or whatever, if we were open up for the public, and I had one of my helpers load up a car or something, that's different. But in firewood, I don't know. I'm curious about our people out there that listen. If you're into firewood delivery or even out of your roadside stand, have you ever had it to where people pay extra?
I have not at the roadside stand, but on a few occasions that I have delivered in the past, I did get a small tip here and there. And I think
Uh-huh.
that's kind of, I think a lot of people, I think when you're delivering firewood, kind of like what you said, it's kind of in the back of your mind. If, you know, if they hand you some cash, it's probably, if they got extra in there, you know, they appreciate what you did, but I don't think you should like be expecting it. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
not.
So that was on my mind. I would imagine that a lot of people out there have an opinion. And if you want to share it with us, let us know maybe about tipping specifically to firewood. And I don't know. I, like I said, I'm sympathetic to the employee. They're put into a tough situation. I would hope that our people, our friends out there, aren't taking it out on them because they're certainly not. You know, it's not their situation to control. Probably.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dan, that was just on my mind. I don't know what else you got going on. I hear there's something going on big up in your neck of the woods here, coming up pretty
Yes.
soon.
Yes, there is. June 22nd, there's going to be a little shindig going on, a little get together up at Wolf Ridge Manufacturing. They are putting on the Midwest Firewood Frenzy once again. It's back.
Oh wow. Uh huh. So, what is the Midwest Firewood Frenzy? Is this a Wolf Ridge product line? Is it open to others? Can people bring their own splitter, or do other manufacturers show up?
No other, yeah, no like personal splitters are brought in. It's pretty much just a Wolf Ridge exclusive show with Wolf Ridge's products, their equipment. There may be a few other vendors. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, it's not like it's kind of like a little just mini like open house for like Wolf Ridge, I guess.
Yeah. All right. And that's at their facility, I guess.
Yes, it's at Wolf Ridge Manufacturing in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I believe it's 8 till 5, maybe. I'm not sure. You'll have to check their website and get the
And what
exact
day is it?
details. Saturday, June 22nd.
Oh, okay. We got a couple weeks still then.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah, just it's right around the corner, and I will be there with my old Wolf Ridge 28C and then the new Wolf Ridge 28C, kind of having a little, I guess, exhibit of, you know, where their machines were, how many years ago, and where they've come to now, so you can kind of compare and contrast the features, the options, what they look like. I will
Yeah.
also have some mini firewood there and a little tabletop fire pit to give away. So come and track me down if you are attending the Firewood Frenzy. I'm going to have all kinds of stuff happening in my little, I guess, booth.
Yeah. And then this is the first year with Bob Nelson on the team at Wolf Ridge, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and I think, and I know that you have, we've both seen Wolf Ridge is up their game with their advertising, their social media presence, and that's got to be directly related to Bob. I think Bob Nelson's a plus person like that.
Yeah, the social media game, I guess, everything has been upped a little bit with Bob on board, and he is kind of the organizer and coordinator for the whole event, the Firewood Frenzy. So
Yeah,
yeah, he's doing a great job there. It's just all the
he,
stuff they have coming out. They have a bunch of new equipment. They're making fire pits now, bigger fire pits, but they have
yeah,
just all kinds of stuff.
I had one at my Firewood Expo because his pile of ash is still down there. I have to talk to him about getting that cleaned up. But he had um, I had learned this when I traveled with Bob in Finland. He was talking about, when you set up a booth at a trade show, you just don't like set stuff up and go. There's like a thought process behind it, about the way that the customers flow into the booth so that it invites people in instead of like, it's like a bunker where people don't want to go into it because they don't feel like, they're welcome in there. But
Yeah.
I saw that at my expo, just how he just knows which way, where to put the machines, which direction they face. And his area at my expo is just awesome. He's really,
Yeah.
really good at that. Yeah.
And I don't know if you knew this or not, but that fire pit they had down there, that fire was started with back 40 mini firewood.
Because is that really small fire, wasn't it?
It started small, but it got big in a hurry.
Yeah.
Those
after
fire
they put
pits burned
after
pretty
they put
good.
my firewood in, then
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we can, we got a couple episodes that are coming up. We can talk about this again. The Midwest Firewood Frenzy in Eau
Yes.
Claire, Wisconsin. All right.
And hopefully the weather holds out, because the first 2 years this was put on, when I was kind of a part of it, every year it rained.
Yeah.
And then I just said, I'm done with this. I kind of bowed out. And Chris kind of was in the same thought. He was kind of like, yeah, let's just take a year off. And now this year they're bringing it back. So hopefully weather will be good.
When did you have it before? Was it earlier in the spring or was it this month?
It was always the weekend after Father's Day.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we got Father's Day coming up then, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Is this then going to be our Father's Day episode?
Let's see. This will be the Wednesday before Father's Day.
Okay. All right. Well, a happy Father's Day to everyone who's out there. And if you are or if you aren't, you're still important. But this is the time of year, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to continue on my channel's tradition. So I'm going to be replaying my Father's Day special on Father's Day again.
Nice.
It'll be our third year in a row. Yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
So yeah, if like I said, June is flying by. Holy moly's! It seems like it was just started, and now here we are talking about Father's Day, and then the next week, almost the end of June already.
Mm-hmm. And we still are dealing with wet ground. I haven't been able to move any of my wood into my woodshed because the ground's still too soft. And we still have standing water in some places. It's just been, and it rained again last night. So our stretch continues that here in Northeast Ohio, we have not had a dry weekend all year. It's rained in some capacity.
That's because you probably plan to do something on the weekend and then you don't work in the rain. So it rains and then you can't get anything done.
That's right.
Or you forget what you were going to do and then you really don't get anything done.
I just think of all the softball and baseball teams out there that have their weekends ruined because of this weather.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, all right, Dan. I think that since I've lost my Dr. Pepper and you gave me a tip about the upcoming Midwest Firewood Frenzy, that gives us the opportunity to tell everyone a happy Father's Day. There. That's the summary of today's episode.
There's the tip from today's episode for you.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks everyone.
Here's
for
a tip.
tuning in.
Look both ways. Here's a tip. Look both ways before you cross the street.
Yes.
All right.
Don't stand up in a canoe.
Don't put anything larger than your elbow in your ear.
I've never understood that one. Maybe just because I can't get my elbow to my ear.
Yeah. I don't know. Good luck.
Yeah. But all right. Well, Joe, I'm striking up the band and I'm going to tell everyone, thanks for making the Woodhounds the #1 firewood podcast in the world. We appreciate you listening, and we'll be back next Wednesday at 5 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, and if you could please look for your rating system on your streaming service, and please give us a 5-star review. It really does help. And now that this episode has come to an end, I'm going to tell everyone out there to stay
safe.
Have a happy
Father's Day.
And consider attending the Midwest Firewood
Frenzy.
and help me find my
Mind.
Dr.
Dr. Pepper.
And have
A great day.